Passport. Well, I'm all packed up. I'm ready to go. I bet you're wondering where I'm going. Well, what were probably empty words quite a few months back have now come to fruition. I made some jokes at the end of last year when the fishing was starting to get really tough with some friends over in the UK. You know, they were doing pretty well. And so I said to them, boys, I probably have more luck on your side of the pond than on mine right now. And they chuckled and said, well, why don't you put that theory to the test? Needless to say, with 3 months of planning now, finally complete, the boys over in the UK have really put together probably the itinerary of a lifetime for me. I'm not going to tell you quite yet what venues I'll be fishing. I'll save that for when we get there. But the journey is about to begin. I hope that you're as excited for me as I'm excited right now because I'm buzzing, man. Let's go! C-32. Long way to go. Long walk. Well, there's a few hours yet until we fly out, and I think it would be rude not to. Cheers. Here we go. Well, I'll tell you what, that doesn't look half bad. I'm gonna have to give it a go, I think. Cheers. Now for the connecting flight to Birmingham, at which time I will meet up with Paul and the lads. We'll be heading off to our very first location. It's been a pretty uneventful journey thus far. No complications. Actually running quite ahead of schedule, and I can't ask for much better than that.
What a welcoming party. How you doing, Paul?
Good to see you, man.
Good seeing you, man.
Come on.
Awesome, let's get going.
Left the people in suspense long enough. Where's the first venue?
Yeetly. Let's go.
Pads Lake, baby! Woohoo! Oh my goodness. Well, I'm about to walk into one of the most prestigious fishing tackle locations in all of the UK. Would you say so?
Absolutely.
I'm walking into the Yateley Angling Centre. We're going to have a little look around and then we're going to be heading right off to Pads Lake. Pads Lake, Paul!
Hey.
You ready?
Let's do it.
It's unbelievable.
here.
Oh my God.
And we still have another car coming, and apparently it's got even more stuff.
That's got the bait.
That's got the bait. Oh my goodness. We've had a good walk around the lake now, and wind's up a bit, so it's really sort of hard to spot any fish. We've seen some bubbling, which is a really good sign. And we've kind of figured out where we're going to be hosting our socials, and probably we're going to be sort of amalgamating for the beginning. We've gotten some really good insight from the bailiff, which has really changed the game for us. We're not coming on here blind now. We found out that most of the big fish and most of the fish in general have been caught on one particular part of the lake. So we're going to be hitting there first, obviously. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So we're going to go through this process. We're going to get the brawly set, the barrow set up. We're going to get everything out onto the lake, and then from there we're going to draw straws and figure out who's going where, right? Who's getting first choice, who's getting last choice, and with any luck, hopefully we'll all get in this week. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I get the first draw.
And I saw a big fish crash right out in front of me, which is a really good sign. I winged out a single to it at this point in time. I'm still getting the rod set up. I just had the bivvy set up over me. Cheers, Paul. And it's absolutely stunning out here. As you can see, I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's like 15 degrees out here. And doing all this setting up is getting me quite hot and sweaty. But I think it's going to be an adventure, to say the least. To think that in this lake there's 100 fish and 30 of them are over 30 pounds. And it's like, it's a puddle. It's unreal. What a beautiful place. Check this out. Check it out. What a swim. Incredible. Well, update time. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we've only really been in the water for about 2 hours now. Well, both rigs in anyway. And I'm actually getting some indications, which is quite a shocker. I've been plumbing around quite a bit, bouncing the rods around and, trying to figure out where there was some proper ground to present a bait on. And I found 2 good spots for the 2 rods I have in. And on the right hand rod, I've been getting quite a few indications on a gravel bar. It's about 15 yards out. And on my left hand rod, I just switched over to something else as I got my hands on some naturals. From what we gather here, from the intel from the bailiff, the carp have been taking on maggots. And so we don't have any lively maggots, but we do have earthworms. So I'm trying something with an earthworm, knowing that there are perch and there are tension here. I'm trying to go for something that might slow down those nuisance fish. I'd actually take a tench. I'd be very excited for a tench, but a perch, not really what we're looking for. So fingers crossed. I'm not super hopeful for a fish on the first night, but I mean, I'm getting some indications, and I think Paul's had a couple, and Phil's had a few show in his swim. Andrew, unfortunately, hasn't had much of anything. He doesn't feel like he's on them yet, but good old Andrew, he'll probably move at some point, and he'll be on them. He'll get the biggest one, you watch. So, fingers crossed. Wow, big fish just crashed. Big fish crashed in Phil's swim. Massive fish. Oh, that's exciting. Here's hoping something comes soon.
Well, as you can see behind me here, what started off as an absolutely beautiful day here at Pads is ending with an equally beautiful evening. The sun is setting on pads, and our first day here is slowly coming to a close. I think very shortly, some of the lads are going to be making their way around the lake and joining myself and Phil, who's just right beside me here in the pole position swim. And we're going to be having a little barbecue or something. I'm not sure what we're actually doing for dinner tonight, but I know there's curry somewhere this week, and I'm really looking forward to that. But we're gonna have some food, you know, we're gonna share some stories, have a proper little social, and with any hope. I mean, the fish have been showing, so they're obviously about, and I mean, we've been getting a couple of knocks here and there, so I mean, they are swimming through our baited areas. With any luck, maybe we're rudely interrupted in the middle of the night by something. And as I've said before, based on the stock of this lake, if we get a fish, it's a really good chance it could be a good one. There's 100 fish in this lake, and 30 of them are over 30 pounds. That is absolutely incredible. That's like a 1 in 3 chance that you're gonna get a 30+ pound fish, if you get any at all. I'm still hopeful, and I think if we have any action in the next little while the sun's still up and we still have light, then we'll be sure to bring you some footage of that. But if not, you know what? I think that it's a good way to start out. It's a good humbling experience for myself. I'm, you know, quite privy. I think we all are in North America. The fishing is just almost too easy there. But, you know, I think it's going to make the reward that much more sweet. So, fingers crossed. Let's go get some food. Well, gentlemen, now that we're all on the same side of the lake, I just want to say a huge thank you. Obviously, this has been a couple of months of planning, and you've all taken some time out of your schedules. And you welcome me with open arms into...
Well, to be fair, it's only because I paid.
Well, thank you, Paul, for paying for this. I mean, this is obviously so big. Yeah, everybody thank Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah,
Thanks,
cheers,
Paul.
Cheers, mate.
But you gentlemen have all taken time out of your work schedules, and I mean, you've welcomed me into a group of friends that have obviously been friends for significantly longer than myself and Paul. So I just want to say cheers. Here's to some productive days.
Cheers, Will.
Cheers, Will.
It's your first English 30.
Lovely. Cheers.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Yeah.
Oh, let's hope
Curry
this curry
time.
is good. Curry. Let's go, curry.
Right, a quarter of what you had there. No, a quarter, not a half. No, go on then.
Go on and put airs on your lungs. Phil?
Silly boys, they think they can scare me with their spicy sauce.
Right, well, I can scare you in a minute. We'll switch it tomorrow.
Well, that's dinner right there. Look at that. It's quality cooking. Well, good morning and welcome to day 2 at Yateley Pads. Bit of a brisk one this morning. It was quite cold last night. No fish were making their presence known at all. None of us had a bump, and there was no boshing or anything in the pads or even out in the center of the lake. You know what? We're getting super serious this morning. We've all got the distance sticks out. We're mapping everything out. We just had a sort of a play around with the deeper to have a look at some features and whatnot. We found some clear areas that we didn't know were even there. So we're now putting rigs out there. But yeah, with any luck, as it really starts to warm up today, those fish will get active and find the few baited areas we have. Maybe we can get ourselves into a Pads Lake carp. Wouldn't that be stellar? I'd even take a tench at this point, a Tommy tench. But hopefully it starts to warm up soon here. I'm gonna need another coffee. Fingers crossed. We're still very hopeful. A couple of pike. Right here in the margins, hiding out around the tench retainer. I just wish you had a dead bait or a jerk bait right now. I bet you they'd smash it.
Right, just running over to Paul here now. Apparently he's on a fish. Playing one as we speak. Hey, yeah, pal. Atta boy. Oh. How's it feel, mate? Well done, man. Well done.
Get your net right down in the water ready. Right in the water ready. Just steady pressure. Sing that net right down. Sing it right down. You can go over the top. No, that's it. There you got him.
Yes, Paul. Yes, Paul.
That's a lump. That is an absolute lump.
Right, if you want to,
Yes.
you want to sort this out.
Oh, Paul.
Actually, cheers, right?
I know what I've got.
There you go, mate. Let's get my kit ready.
Ooh. Oh my goodness, look at the size of that! Oh my god.
It is
It's 30.
£40.
No way.
8.
40 pounds, 8!
£40 8.
Whoo, Paul!
Want to confirm that, anyone?
I can see it. We got it.
Oh, it's on.
mate.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Paul,
Yeah, mate.
how big was that fish?
I think he's a good 30.
Yeah, at least, eh? How many years?
You work it out. 1979.
1979 you've been fishing.
Yeah. But to be fair, don't judge you be like, I'm a really bad carp angler.
Right.
This is the face of a man who just caught a 40 right here.
Let's get that. Where's the light?
I'm fishing fish, not for weights.
Couldn't have happened to a better chap, I don't think. Well in, Paul. What a monster.
It gets too heavy for your arms to let him down. If he twitches, roll him back straight in the water.
Can you just move back a little bit, Ray? Because the shadow's just
Perfect.
that.
What an incredible specimen. Right into his socks, doesn't even care. Worth every second. One last look at an absolutely monstrous fish from the Pads Lake. Yes, give him a shower.
Oh, well in, Paul. Give it a kiss, Paul. Give it a kiss.
Oh, girl.
Go on, sweetheart.
Yes.
Yes, Paul.
Yes.
Well, how about that? 40 years Paul has waited for a fish like that. 40 years. That's justice, I think. I think that's very, very just. And we're approaching 24 hours now on Yateley so far. And the sun is out once again. It is beautiful out here again. And I think this is what is waking the fish up once again. I've seen a couple of rolls now, and they're getting closer and closer to me. I'm just hoping that the rig that I've put out now is what they're looking for. I've gone with more of a natural approach, as it seems that this lake has seen a lot of pressure from pop-ups and the sort, and now I'm going with the naturals, because of course that's what's really hatching at this time of year. You've got natural baits coming up through the silt, so I've put out something very natural, and if it works, like I said, if it works, I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I'm doing. I think I'll just keep it under wraps just in case it turns out to be a giant flop. Either way, it's looking good, you know? We haven't blanked as a unit. That's pretty exciting. Fingers crossed that there's a couple more for us to come. Oh, yeah, Carpy. There you go.
Well, looking carpy.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Thank you.
No problem. Lovely. Thank God there's going to be a musical montage. So far, we're coming to the end of day 2 here at Yateley Pads. Paul has been the only one to catch. And I think that's fitting, seeing as he put all this together, that he be rewarded with not only a significant fish, but his personal best and one of the biggest fish in the league. I think that is just. I think that is very just. I've got the rods in. I have confidence. The rigs that I have in, I think are going to work. And Paul thinks so. Bailiff thinks so. Everybody thinks so. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. And it's the true saying that you don't blank. You just run out of time. Because at some point, these fish are going to be in that swim. They're going to see that natural presentation and they're going to pick it up, right? I mean, they're just fish, right, Paul? They're just.
Oh yeah.
They're just fish, right, Paul?
Doing nothing wrong, Will.
Okay. I feel that way too. I'm convinced that I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just the fish just aren't here. And I mean, they're just waking up too. Like, the water is just approaching the double digits now in temperature. So it's just beyond ice, really. So they're just waking up. They're a little bit lethargic still. It could happen at any minute. So we're keeping the faith. And what's for dinner tonight, Paul?
Barbecue tonight, bud.
Barbecue tonight? So really, it's a win-win anyway. We'll keep you updated if anything happens. Well, I've got the kettle boiling. I'm gonna have one more cuppa before the night is through. It's been quite uneventful. Since probably 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, when I had a couple of liners on my line. It's incredible. The fact that there's actually 100 fish in here still boggles my mind. It still boggles all of our minds. Because we figure, where the hell could they be? It's such a small lake. But they assure us that the stock is correct. So, if anything, they're just really playing an elusive game at this time. But we're going to look to see if there's any need to switch tactics in the morning, and which time we will. But the kettle's boiling, so I better get to it. See you in the morning unless something really spectacular happens. Rudely awoken. Actually, you're quite polite about it, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah. I can do it rude if you want, Will.
No, I don't want to rude. I was quite peacefully napping, and I hear a very soft voice saying, "Was it you?" Oh, that's all right. And they said that all they said was PB. Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding, mate. Come on, let's go.
Well, let's go. A PB. He's already had a bloody 40. What more does he need? Unreal. Another 40 in this retainer. What are the statistical chances, Phil, of waltzing into Pads Lake and having 2 40s then?
Pretty slim, mate. But he's going to be doing the lottery this week.
Yeah, he better go grab a ticket. Well, let's have a look then. Holy Look at the... You don't even have to take it out yet. No. Look at the size of that thing.
No, I did that when I swim, mate.
Oh my... That's the single scale?
Oh.
Literally, Ray was talking about this fish just this afternoon, you know?
The mug?
The one with the single scale on the side. So apparently, Phil, we're on the wrong side of the lake. It would seem. You're beating you up a little bit there, Paul. Yes, Paul. Oh my goodness. The single scale. Look at that. What a fish. What's that? 41.8, I think.
41.4.
41.4.
41.4, is it? I thought it was 41.8. I don't care. 41.4.
Another 40. Unbelievable. What a beautiful fish, Paul. The single scale on the side. Ray was talking about this one this afternoon. Unbelievable. How you feeling, baby?
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
All right, let's get this baby back. Yes, it's quite cold.
Another 40. And as we said before, it couldn't have happened to a better chap. Well in, man. Well in.
Push
the sling away a bit.
Yeah, pull it out, mate. Pull it out.
I got it. Yeah. So another PB for Paul.
In his pants.
Yeah. So long, sweetheart. Back to the depths.
Look at the chunk on there. You saw that feeding in the margins.
Oh, that's a dinker.
Oh, fire.
Goodbye, sweetheart.
Isn't it traditional to pour water over the cat's head?
You don't need to. Oh, fuck.
I think he's done it for himself, hasn't he?
Well in, man. Well in, boys.
Cheers.
Well, I don't know what else to say. 2 40s. That's crazy. You know, Paul's had 2 40s. Oh my goodness. You know, it's surreal to think. The man's waited 40 years to even get a 30. And he has 2 40s in 24 hours. Welcome to Pads Lake, I suppose. This place is for dreamers. And I don't think it's, like I said before, I don't think it could have happened to a better person. It's quite fitting, it's quite just. He's brought us all together, and he's catching the big fish. Good on him. I think this might warrant me to have a move tomorrow if I don't have any action down at my end. Because Paul's saying he's not even baiting really up there. Fish are just there. So I think that if I were to head up there and maybe put another lit rig in, there's a good chance I could have a fish out of there. Because there's nothing showing over me right now. There's no bumps or indications to want to keep me here. So yeah, come morning we'll sort of weigh our options, see if maybe it's worth a move for the final night at Pads.
And if you can sort of have a look behind me, you'll note that I've changed my swim. I think it's well warranted after Paul had a second 40 from this this side of the lake. I think it would be really foolish not to come over to this side and at least give it a go, at least for the day, if not for the night as well, for the final night here at Pads. Day 3, there's still lots of time to fish, and I've been in maybe about half an hour now. I've already had 2 liners on my one rod here, pointing right around the same area where Paul had his 40. I'm in the same bay as him, and he's very, not reluctantly even, he's been very kind to offer that up to me in hopes that I can maybe bag a good one too. Just a fish, period, at this point. But fingers crossed. You know, sun's just rising. It was around this time that we started seeing some action. I had a big crash in front of me just as I was arriving this morning too, which was almost like a, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the right side of the lake. But we're going to give it a go here. Of course, the time I leave, they start to show up. Incredible. Heading over now, and we'll see what happens when we get there.
I don't think he's quite. He was up on his side then, because he's not right with his tether.
That's it. Yes. Get in there, idiot.
Oh. Yeah, thanks, mate. You're welcome.
Awesome.
You're going to tackle shop in a minute.
Look at that. It's common. No, oh, yeah, that's what I just saw back.
That's a good fish.
What a cracker.
Leech,
Yeah.
sorry, bud?
Leech that.
Leech, is it?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. Isn't it? £30.8.
What is it?
£30.8.
Shy.
Called it.
I looked in at the back. Now that I'm an expert with these size fish, Andy. Now that I'm an expert with these size fish. I called that.
You are. You call 30.
Yeah, you've never caught a 30.
Yeah.
So he's in the weeds.
Yeah, you get used to looking at big fish.
Is it?
Yours, that's what I mean.
Oh, it's
I like that. He made sure his hat was in the right.
I've had so many photos of my hat down at a stupid angle.
That's right. Call you f***ing combo.
Oh, what a cracker.
Hang on, it's not ready. Okay.
Well done. Beauty.
Ooh. Pour some more.
My hand's far enough round.
Yeah, fine.
That's a
Do
long
the other
old
side.
fish, man.
Other side.
Phil had his rods out all day because he wanted to rest his swim. Took his drone out, flew it around a bit, saw some absolute lumps in the pads, put the rod in the pads, and Phil's been away. How you doing, Phil? Right on, man. I've come to understand that you've had a fish. What are you tending to food too?
Tench.
A tench.
A tench.
No way.
Yeah, afraid so, mate.
Oh,
Tench.
that's still better than a blank, isn't it?
Well, I'd say so. Not really.
Well, there we are. So it was a tench, but it's a sign of life. It's been a particularly quiet day. Oh, I didn't know it was a tench. I couldn't hear you guys from across the pond.
Saying, don't worry, it's tench.
Oh, I thought you were saying, don't worry, it's in the net. So, anyway. Oh well.
Oh well.
Sign in for the next update. Good night.
We have a cheese course,
Nice.
followed by a main course of cheese.
Oh yeah, and then for
dessert, we have a special dessert cheese.
Oh.
With washed down with a lively little port. I believe it's travelled well.
Right. That sounds fantastic. Well, I couldn't help myself. I'm on the opposite side of the lake. My rods, I pulled them out, obviously before coming over here, because if I were to get a run, I might be totally pooched by the time I would get over there. So, genius me decided I was going to bring one rod. I'm going to do this Canadian style. We're going to bring the one rod over, and I was going to throw it right on the same bar that Andy had one on earlier this afternoon. The rod's in, it's nice and close by to where we're having our little social gathering here. And I guess we're gonna have some cheese. And, you know, not to try to sound cheesy, but formidably, I could have one over there. It's locked up on a bar right now, and it's a solid donk. For a weedy lake, it's a proper gravel bar. So with any luck, the fish will hone in on it. Maybe I have one. I do not believe this, but the rod that I threw out on that bar has just tightened up. I was fishing locked up. We're all sitting around here. We're actually filming some drone footage, and I'm into what feels like a very substantial fish. I can barely move it. He's mugging right in the bottom. You can see the bubbles coming up right where he is.
Is it snagged?
No, he's in the weeds. He's coming in and out of it. Need a little bit of play on that. Oh, sweetheart. What a plan. I can't believe.
Go steady, Will. That's a small hook on there.
Well.
Those are powerful rods.
Well,
What do you think? Say a bit louder.
See, now he's come out of the weeds. He doesn't feel like a real monster, but a fish is a fish from a pressured water like this.
definitely not a tench.
I don't think it's got some weight. If it's a tench, it's a double figure tench.
Take it steady, Will. Take it steady. Slow and steady. There's no rush.
Yeah, I don't think it's a monster, boy. A lot of meat on the fish.
There he is. There's his fresh port. The bump of weeds swimming down at the moment. Now he's picking that.
There's a carp.
He's got a big clump of weed in.
Yeah,
Right,
it's-
behind. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Make sure that clutch is nice and slack, Will. Sorry, I shouldn't tell you how to play a fish.
I'll play some bigger.
I'm just nervous for you, buddy.
I'm nervous too, Paul. Oh, man. Stay away from that tree. It's hiding like a big one, too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's a big one?
Well, I don't know. It's fighting like a big one.
It's not.
Does doing a damn good impression.
double figures, boys.
Yeah, I think you're safe there.
Come now, come now.
Oh my god. Nice, well, steady.
Came up the surface if you can. He's ready to come on, man.
You'll move this much pad. Let's go. Come on. Get in there. Head up, head up, head up, head up, head up.
Get him under around that. You're in, you're in. He's in, he's turned. Yeah, he's in, he's in. Just from that. He's in, just from that.
Yes, he's in.
Yes, well done.
Yes.
Not man.
Oh well.
Everyone wave at the drone.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
How many people have got a pipe and a tape, everything on the drone?
Oh.
I think that. No, very careful.
Well, we need a scale too. I need a scale. Oh my goodness. I don't think they come much prettier than that, do they, boys?
English mirror.
That's cracking. Look at that. Look at that tail.
What a perfect fish. Oh my goodness, let's get the net out.
It's going to be a big one, isn't it? Every day.
Yeah.
Unless he gets the guts on
That's a
it.
small big fish.
Small big fish.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is. It's going to be a big. It's got the frame to be a big.
I've had carp like that in Canada too, where you know for sure one day when they grow up they're going to be big. Oh. Are you ready, Paul?
We're ready.
Are you alright just doing it on that? Videoing or?
Yeah. Phil, do you want me to take, I'll take some photos now, okay buddy?
There it is. One last look at my very first UK carp. All this waiting, and it's about to take off. Come on then, sweetheart.
Do you think that's a new Canadian record for a UK carp?
I don't know. Get out of here.
See you next time.
Adios.
Videos.
Yeah. Flick the water.
Right.
Top man, Will.
Yes.
Well done, mate.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Top sort.
That's what we need. Let's have some cheese. Shaking. I'm still buzzing about that catch. I needed that. I really did. And you can ask the guys. I'm a little bit more animated now. It's been what? How many hours have been here now, boys? What time is it now? Who's got the time?
50 hours.
50 hours. Has it been? Yeah, I reckon it's been about 50. Yeah, so about 50 hours we've been here now. And like I've been sitting here nibbling my nails off because I couldn't seem to figure out the lake. And then just on gut instinct, I said, you know what? I'm going to take that rod with me to the other side when we have our little dinner gathering here. Took the drone up and I had one. That happened, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. That is absolutely incredible. We're gonna sit down and have our final dinner here at the pads. Our last night, boys. It's our last night. And Phil,
Cheese sweats.
you're gonna wake up with cheese sweats, and Phil still gotta have one. You still gotta have a proper carp. It's tonight.
You never give that cheese away.
That's right. So we have to be off this lake at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, which gives us, what's that? 17 hours?
A few hours, yeah.
Yeah, but
Enough time.
we have plenty of enough time.
There's another 40 out here, I believe.
Yeah, there is one more 40 in this lake that has still not been caught by us anyway. Paul, he doesn't just have the horseshoe up his rear end, he's got the whole bloody horse. But there's lots of bubbling and there's lots of hatches happening on the lake right now. It is absolutely gorgeous out here. Here's to one last night at Pads. I didn't blank. I didn't blank on this trip. I couldn't ask for much better than that. Yay! Woo! Woo! Initiation complete. All right, well, we're gonna go and enjoy our cheese now. Looks like there's quite a cheese platter out here, so we're gonna enjoy that. And if anything else happens, you know by now, we'll be touching base again soon. Well, here we are, settled in the bivvy for our last night at the Pads Lake. What an incredible adventure we've had. We've been really blessed. This is one of the most pressured waters in all of the UK. We literally turn up an hour or so after somebody had left, and someone is coming on right after us after we leave tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. But what an adventure. Paul having 2 40s, 2 of the 3 known 40s in this lake. That is a statistical improbability, and he managed to make it happen. So big ups to him. 40 years of angling, and he finally gets a fish over 30 pounds, and both of them are 40s. Unbelievable. And Andy on a 2-pound test curve, Rod Hutchinson Carboflex with an Abu Garcia 55 reel. You want to talk about a good time? That was it. He had it. And that lovely 30. Incredible fish. Phil has only had a Tommy Tench, which, you know what? Power to him, because apparently there's a significant less number of tench in this lake than there are carp. And he had one. So Phil's has sort of done something similar to Paul, I suppose. He's had a statistical anomaly as well. But if he could catch a carp, that would really complete this journey. And then, of course, my very first UK carp, a proper leather mirror. I'm still buzzing about it. I still can't believe it. And it all came down to just putting that rod in the right place at the right time. If I hadn't have made the decision to move it, I never would have had a fish tonight, I don't think. But I've got my rigs in now. I'm feeling really confident with what's out there. And yeah, if we're rudely interrupted in the night, be sure to let you know about it. But if not, hopefully I can get a really good night's sleep, and we can be well rested for maybe a quick morning bite. Fingers crossed. Here goes our last night at Pads. Here we are, packing it in. Rods are just coming out now. Paul's already got his bivvy broken down and pretty well everything else. The plan, I think, now is to go back on this gravel bar here, and I think we're all going to try to put a rod in. 1 rod each, just to see if maybe we can tease a bite. But there was plenty of indications this morning. Starting around 3 o'clock this morning, Paul actually started having indication. And then I had an indication myself around 5 a.m. on my left-hand rod. Put the kettle on, came around to see Paul on this side, and my center rod came to life, ripped off. I picked it up all giddy and excited like a schoolgirl. Turns out it was a pike, but it was still pretty good to have another tug on the end of the line. And Andy over there, don't know if you can see him or not, standing there right by the swan. Andy has had a proper old school setup right in front of his bivvy there. He put the pan below, turned the reel on the side, pennies on top of the spool. Well, the pennies dropped, spool spun around. He picked up the rod, felt a couple of thuds, and then there was nothing there. So at this point in time, if Phil catches, that's all of us having one. And that's what we're really hoping for now, is that Phil can get into a fish. So I think that's going to be our main goal for this morning, is putting Phil on one. But obviously, another fish would be just a blessing. Here's hoping that in the next couple hours, we can finish this off on a real high note.
About 1 hour left. We'll grab the rod, stalking around the lake, worms, looking for signs of fish. 10 minutes in the right spot, better than 60 in the wrong. So,
Absolutely. Well,
fingers crossed. Well,
just down the laneway there stands Phil. And he is in a prime location. There's actually been a few fish showing over him. So, fingers crossed. We're all hoping for you, Phil. Let's conclude this the right way. We've done a full 72 hours on the pads, and well, we all caught.
We did, yeah.
We did all catch.
Just not all carp.
Not all carp, but we all caught, so I say that's a result.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a
Good team
result.
effort.
Ray, thank you so much. You have a beautiful fishery.
Yeah, you all have a safe journey home.
Well, we will.
Hope to see you again.
Oh, I think you might. You might. I might come back. Yeah, I might come back. But we'll see you guys on the road, heading back to the Yateley Angling Center, pick up a few bits. Then we're gonna go check out the next water that we'll be taking on for Friday until Sunday. So we'll see you in the car.
cheers.
Strike one. Let's try that again.
How's the share?
Oh, damn straight.
1-3.
So this is where you call home.
It is, mate.
Whoa.
Humble abode.
What a lovely little place.
I'll show you the best bit.
The view.
Oh, good Phil.
All the stuff from Yateley. Look at that view. Fit for a king.
Idiot.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is where we're going to be staying for a night. And then, have we decided where we're going to be going, Paul?
No, not until we speak to the boss.
Not until we speak to the boss. So we got to sort of figure out what's going down. And yeah, then we're going to be hitting up a water tomorrow. We're heading off to Walton Lakes, 400 fish plus 5.5 acres, really small, really intimate. And best of all, we're going to be the only ones on there when we show up. The Walton Lakes, which is in Glastonbury, one of the most historical places in all of England, one of the most historically significant places in all of England. The legend of King Arthur supposedly takes place in Glastonbury. Maybe we can pull more than just Excalibur from the water. Let's go. Captain Disaster and Boy Blunder strike again. We're on our way now to Glastonbury to head up to Walton Lakes. We see a friend of ours, Sean Pierce. Shut up, we're doing a film bit. And our friend Sean is you know, on our side here. We go to wait until I look out the window, and we have our rods on the roof right now, and I can see one full rod sleeve is hanging off with the net just dangling in the wind, and I'm like panicking. I'm like, Paul, pull over, Paul. It was pretty scary.
Okay.
Oh my god. But we pulled over, we got it back up now, and we're en route. How much longer, Paul? What is that, an hour?
Hour's drive, yeah.
About an hour now, an hour away from Glastonbury. We should arrive just after 11, and then we can get set up. We can have a walk around the lake. The whole lake to ourselves, man. The whole lake to ourselves. That's a good way to start it off, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, then we don't have to worry about any naughties around. We'll see you when we get there. We're here. Walton Ponds. Cracking looking lake. Love it. Here's the main lake.
This one, look. She rods that side on that side.
If you really wanted to, yeah.
Like it. Oh, look at that.
Hello. A lot of bubbles out here right now. This is a really good sign. Nice breeze coming in as well. Lovely. As Danny Fairbrass would say, this mix is proper munga. And I'm gonna put in a ton. Apparently this small spit of water of 5.5 acres has some 400 fish in it. I reckon if we're the only ones on here, we should be able to put them all on our side of the lake. And I might be able to put at least half of them under that tree. So we're gonna load it up. We got 2mm trout pellet, hemp, cracked corn, whole corn, chili flake, the whole 9 yards. It is quite a jambalaya of deliciousness. Proper carby. And yeah, it's the water, nice little bit of milk. That's what we want to see. And Paul's making us up a curry right now, I think. Hey, Paul?
Yep. I told you I was earlier on.
You're a cheeky brother. People at home don't know that, though. Come on now. As you can see, Paul's in a right cheery mood. Look at that beautiful sunset. Well, maybe 10 minutes ago, I had a decent looking fish actually breach right over top of my swim. I'm fishing up tight to that willow tree there. And in the middle here, in this little bay between the willow tree and that fallen sort of mangrove, I've got a rod in there as well. And I've got one way over there by that willow tree as well. And running 3 different baits. Paul's doing the same thing. We're just trying different tactics to see what's really going to get that first bite, and then if it continues to get bites, then we'll switch all the rods over. Pretty standard tactic. But yeah, nothing yet. Had a couple of bumps. Paul just had a really convincing bump on a rod he's got set up with naturals on it right now. Some fish definitely was looking at that, I'd say, or definitely rubbed his tail along the line. He's nearby anyway. And I think they're actually starting to put their noses down. I think when we showed up here, they were actually basking in the sun. So maybe tomorrow we get out the zigs and the floating baits, eh, Paul?
What?
Probably tomorrow we get out the zigs and the floating baits.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely give it a go. I mean, if they're going to take off the surface, what an exciting way to have them. But we're going to have our curry, try to warm ourselves up, and take in the scenery, take in the beautiful Walton fisheries. What a beautiful pond. Well, it's nightfall now at Walton. The fish have been showing themselves pretty well all day, making their presence known, but definitely not down by the rig end. There's been little to no indications on the alarms, and nothing on the bobbins, of course. So at this point in time, we figure that the morning might be when they really turn on, and we could have a few. The bailiff has also kind of hinted to this, as you can clearly see by how misty this video is. It's quite foggy out right now. Sort of rolled in just as the sun was setting. It got really cloudy in a hurry, and it's a bit of a cool wind too. But I think it means we're going to at least be able to get a good night's sleep if this fog definitely pushes the fish off for the night. We can sleep well, get well rested, and be back at it again in the morning. Of course, if there is action, we'll be sure to get the cameras on. But at this point in time, it is beautiful. There's no sounds of traffic. It's really just the odd farm truck. Lots of wildlife around here. Absolutely pristine. Well, we didn't have our hopes terribly high. We were told that the fish really don't respond when a big fog like this kind of rolls in. You could probably barely see me right now, mind you. But I've got something on here, and it's a stick.
Fantastic.
What the f? No wonder it felt so small.
Did it fight well?
Fought like a stick roll. That was a screaming run, Paul.
It was a screaming run. You wouldn't have thought a stick could run like that, mate. Over and out.
Boy blunder strikes again. I don't think I don't have any words really. Paul, how hard was that run?
Absolute screamer, Will.
And what did I set into again? What was it? A piece of bramble?
Yeah, it was a good 3 foot long though, to be fair.
So, unfortunately, we're not allowed to use even micro barbed hooks on here. We're using barbless, and I think that's what actually contributed to that. Set the hook into it, and yeah, there was nothing there. Well, I thought there was something there. I brought it all the way to the net to swing in some branches. What a kick in the head. Whatever. Put it right back on the same spot, put a little method ball on it, and with any luck, we'll be able to have another opportunity. It's always the worst to drop and lose the first fish. Oh, I'd rather lose the second, the third, the millionth. You know, losing the first one, it gets you. It really does. But fingers crossed, we'll have some more updates for you soon. It's been really slow. It's been a really slow 24 hours here at Walton. We've had a couple of indications here and there. We've been seeing the fish rolling along the margin on the far side in the cattails and in the bulrushes, but there has been next to nothing since that blistering run I had last night around 8 o'clock. It's kind of hard to believe that there's 400 fish in here, but according to the bailiffs, they're only just waking up. Gentlemen on the other side of the lake, some people showed up last night. They had a 19-pound 8. Went and spoke with them about it. Said that fought very lethargically. Very typical of a fish that's only just waking up out of its winter slumber. It's the warmest day of the whole week that I've been here. And with any luck, some of that heat might find its way down to those fish, wake them up, and they'll be able to find some of our particles and some of our free offering boilies. Still got rigs on there that I feel really confident in. With any luck, we'll be off soon. Well, as you can see, another stunning sunset here in Glastonbury at Walton Carp Lake. Still sitting here, awaiting that first fish. Don't want to sound too doom and gloom yet, but I'm wondering if that one run I had was the only chance I was ever going to get. We've cast in the rods for what will probably be the last time tonight, unless we have some action. We're not going to bother moving again. But Paul and I are quite befuddled. We're told there's a significant head of fish in here, and we just can't seem to find them. We can't seem to sort it out. Out in this bay over here, over my shoulder, we keep seeing carp rolling all along the bulrushes and all along the reeds. But several times today I put my rig right where I've seen fish crash, left it there for 2-3 hours. Nothing. There hasn't even been a bump on the line. So we know they're moving about. We see them crashing, we see them rubbing up against the reeds. The only thing we can think of at this time is that, sure, they're waking up, but they're just trying to clean off leeches. And if that's the case, then who's to know if they're actually feeding at all. Our rigs are in. Probably going to leave them where they are tonight, unless we get some other indications. So, have some pot noodles, have some biscuits and some coffee or tea, and we'll pack it in for the night. And we'll probably be out of here reasonably early in the morning, unless something keeps us here. Well, it's at some point in the morning. We're not sure what time it is yet. But Paul's middle rod. Doesn't matter. A fish is a fish, Paul. Well, it's not bad. Ooh, double, Paul. Doesn't want to give up though, eh? There it is. Get in that net. Oh, it's in. Yes. Well done, Paul. There it is. Lovely 13-pound Walton Lakes fish. Well, good morning. Another beautiful morning, and the final morning of my UK carp fishing adventure. As you can see behind us here, we're slowly starting the packing up process. Walton was not really that great to either of us. Hey, Paul? You had to work pretty hard for that.
Pretty slow, wasn't it?
It was very slow. Fish are still waking up here in the UK. It's miles ahead of Canada right now, which currently likely has about 6 inches of ice still in some places, or more. So, fishing here was far more productive than I would have had in Canada, chipping through 6 inches of ice to find even a single fish. There's nothing we really did wrong, according to the bailiffs. We put the rigs in the right spots. Like, we'd already cast it out. Bailiffs would come around and say, "Have you got a rig on that spot?" "Yep, certainly do." "Oh, you got a rig over there?" "Yep, we certainly do," or "we certainly had." And they're like, "Wow, and you're still not pulling them? That's quite bizarre." The weather's been up and down. I mean, it's been kind of an interesting week where the temperatures climbed up significantly. And then, as you saw on the first night, that fog rolled in here on Walton. And it was just like you couldn't have cut it with a knife. It was thick. So, unfortunately, that's just the way that fishing goes. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. I was just really happy that Paul caught. Otherwise, this would be an almost pointless video of us just going for a blank. But Paul, good on you, man. A lovely fish. Cheers to you.
I knew you'd caught it well.
If only. If only. If only I had caught that one the night before. That was one hell of a run. What a stick. What a stick. So, we'll be heading back to Paul's shortly, and at which time I'm sure we'll be doing our goodbyes and whatnot. I fly out in the morning. Let's take in that English country air.
Sorry about that, Will.
Oh, that's you, Paul. I was about to go blame Betty the cow over there, but certainly not Paul Oxenham, but Ox, I suppose it's in the name. Cheers. This is Paul's big surprise to me. And I am absolutely blown away. We're at a very small back bay to a bigger lake, and obviously it is warmed up significantly. And we can already see fish on the move on the surface. And plenty more likely are moving along down below. Paul reckons there's a good head of fish in here. And you know what? It is breathtaking here. That cold northeaster that was coming through, can't even feel it really now because of all the trees that we're surrounded by. It feels like we're in the jungle, Paul. This is beautiful. Thank you very much for bringing me here. Let's get fishing. We even have them feeding on the surface here, which is remarkable. It's so early in the season to have fish feeding off the top, but here we are. Watch them take bread flake. There's a pretty big one out there in the center too, you can probably see. Tons of fish in here. Nothing over 7 or 8 pounds, but there's a whole lot of them right now in the margin. We're just being really quiet. All the way down here, there's fish. Well, I honestly can't think of a better way to end this little tour. Fishing an intimate little back bay. Beautiful carp. On some very light tackle. And a lobworm. Feels so primitive. I love it. I think this thing actually fought harder than my 18-pounder did, Paul. We had the weeds to help him. This fish has got open water. He's absolutely cracking his nards off. Get in there. Oh, isn't he adorable? Let's get him on the pad to have a look. I love it. Look at that. What a beautiful little fish. On the worm. Get back here, you. What a beautiful little fish. And there's quite a few in here, so I think we should get this one back. Try for another. And this one's just as scrappy as the last. This is an absolute blast on light tackle. I'll tell you what, for their pint size, they must have nitrous in the tank. Little turbo units. What's this? Oh, absolutely chuffed to bits. We got a fish feeding in the margins on some bread there. Wow. Quite a few of them in here. And you see these two right here, tailing up right beside me. Unbelievable. That's a little bigger than the last one. Just there we go. In the net. I could do this all day. there, just letting them go. Well, they don't have to be big to be an absolute blast. What a perfect little common. Look at the tail on it. My goodness, engaged thrusters. Oh, there's gonna be plenty more where this came from. Let's get that rod back out there. As you can see, we still have one feeding out in the center. We'll see if we can maybe get another crisp on. Get across. Maybe we can put another on the top. Such an exciting way to fish. If you can find a spot where such an opportunity presents itself, I highly encourage you to take it. What an incredible, incredible way to fish. Oh, what an absolutely beautiful little mirror carp. And there's still so many more fish out there to catch. Let's see if we can take a couple more off the top. That was a blast. Hello, sweetheart. It's not my first mirror of the year either. That's pretty neat. So long, darling. Said it's been years since he had one off the top. Oh, he couldn't have landed that any better. There's fish coming in now. There's one right there. 2 or 3 of them, and they're gonna come right up for that. Come on, colder, warmer. Bang on. Yes, Paul. Oh my goodness, this is so much fun. Lovely. Yeah. Goes in the nets. Another lovely little scaly too, it looks like. Well done, Paul. Scale perfect. It's got a turbo thruster on the back too. My God, they scrap like hell, Paul.
Thanks. See you again when you're 42.
Yeah. Toodaloo. Back you go, dear. Wonderful. Well then, Paul. What a run. Oh my goodness. We literally just went with a tiny bit of method around the worm, right at the top of the hook island. Thinking, you know what, maybe that'll hold them in on a quick bite. And I'll be damned, that thing melted off. If there was an alarm, it would have been a 1 tone. Oh my God, look at the size of this little guy. Oh, I feel bad. Get in there. Oh, lovely. Oh, we'll just do this one net side. I think we don't have to take this over the mat. This one's not big, but it's a beautiful little mirror nonetheless. Come here, sweetie. Thank you, lovey. I love that I can one-hand these. Come here. Another beautiful little mirror. Look at that. That's incredible, Paul. So long, darling. That's another common. Yes, sir. Lovely. Well, I think we'll just do this one net side as well. He's a bit grumpy, this one as well. Another absolutely gorgeous little common. Made up with that. Let's go have a cider.